Hello, Potato. Once again, we're going to delve into the world of plant-based meat substitutes, and it's a variety that I think I've had the most experience with. I've had, a little bit of beef. I've had a little bit of, I think, those sausages were meant to be pork, but mostly my experience has been with chicken, mostly with Beyond Chicken, both from KFC and from Panda Express. But while Impossible and Beyond may be like the most recognizable names, there are other names out there, and my local Costco has been dabbling a bit more and more with some of these meat substitutes. And we saw today's item in there and thought, oh, that should be interesting, because again, the artificial chicken has been pretty decent so far. So today we're going to check out Skinny Butcher powered by delicious plant protein crazy crispy chicken nuggets. The cluck stops here. They say there is 0 palm oil used, it features pea protein, and it's crispiest from the oven. And it doesn't expire till next July, so they're not out of date this time. And you get 12 grams of protein per serving, which is, how much is a serving? Serving is 5 nuggets. So it looks like we're going for kind of a chicken McNugget sort of a thing here. Although that breading actually looks quite a bit nicer than McNugget breading. We'll see if that breading actually looks that way when we open it up, though. Ready to heat and eat. I think these are honestly a little pricey. I don't know. I guess I do sort of know why. I sort of understand why at this point these meat substitutes are more expensive than buying actual meat. But I feel like in the future, this is going to be the less expensive option. But 320 calories for 5 nuggets. 29% of your daily sodium, that's probably on par with actually it's probably less than McDonald's, let's be honest. Now, to be fair, you're probably going to add a sauce, which will add more, but we're looking at just the nuggets here. It's got no vitamin D, no calcium, 10% of your daily iron, and no potassium. Or not enough to even qualify for them, because it's got 90 milligrams, but apparently you need a lot of potassium, I guess. Ingredients are water, enriched wheat flour. So this is going to be another gluten-based one then, I guess, not actually pea protein-based. Although there's pea protein in it, pea protein isolate. So I guess we're doing another gluten one here, and that's fine. That was fine with the sausages, so that should be fine here. It contains wheat, tree nuts, coconut. Anything else? Lots of words that I have trouble pronouncing. Bamboo fiber, maltodextrin, yeast, methyl cellulose, canola oil, spices, dried onions, natural flavor, dried garlic, paprika for color, baking soda, sunflower oil, hydrolyzed corn protein, and dried vinegar. So I'm going to go out here and say I don't think 320 calories is really that low of a calorie count for just 5 nuggets. That's less than a 6 nugget at McDonald's. But see, if I were smart, I'd have gotten some McDonald's nuggets, we'd have tried them side by side, and I could have also compared the calories between them. But I feel like 320 is not that low of a calorie count for somebody calling themselves the Skinny Butcher. I don't know that that's that much better than chicken, but I haven't looked it up, so I guess there really was no point in bringing it up. Other than the fact, the product's called the Skinny Butcher, and, alternative meat doesn't necessarily automatically mean healthier or lower calorie. So that may be somewhat of a misleading name, or it could just be a butcher who's actually skinny and has nothing to do with any claims about the food. Well, there are some words here, though. Let's see what the claims about the food actually are. If there's one thing the butcher knows for sure, it's that the world's getting smaller, and while animal protein can be delicious, the world is dying for a skinnier footprint when it comes to the way we produce food, especially protein. That's why he's mastered the art of making plant-based protein delicious. Take our Skinny Butcher chicken nuggets, for instance. They're made from pea protein, but you wouldn't know from their incredibly realistic texture and savory chicken taste. That's right, no barnyard birds were harmed in the making of these incredible morsels, and because they're made of pea protein, there's 0 soy in the recipe. You can count on because you'll always get the real skinny from what? I'm missing a word here. There we go. You can count on it because you'll always get the real skinny from the Skinny Butcher. So they say these can be done in the air fryer, or they prefer the oven. Now the air fryer would have been my choice, my go-to on this to do. But I have both, so let's do both. The air fryer is a little bit faster, but not that much. So yeah, we'll try both. But let's look at them frozen, because so it mentions like a realistic texture, and in the picture, That does, well, first of all, that looks very similar in texture to the Beyond Chicken, which means that they are going for like a McNugget sort of a thing here. They've already actually ruined it because real McNuggets don't have a realistic chicken texture because they're not made from like a real piece of chicken. They're, you know, formed from like the pink slime chicken, which is fine. I'm not judging that, but it's not, you know, it's not the texture-wise, it's not the same as a real hunk of chicken. So let's take a look here. Oh yeah, they're definitely going for, I mean, the breading is thicker. That's definitely, I think, a better looking breading than McNuggets, but they're definitely going for McNuggets here. That's kind of like the boot shape, sort of the bone, the ball. Do we have the bell? We have a cube, well, a square. So you don't get a ton of these. These are, for how much you get, were a little pricey, even at Costco prices. But they smell better than McDonald's nuggets. They have more, the smell, there's more seasoning in the breading. And the breading looks a little thicker. Which, you know, if you remember, that was my complaint with the Panda Express chicken, is that the breading wasn't thick enough. And I think that would have been more convincing as orange chicken if it had had a thicker breading. So this might give us a chance to kind of get an idea as to whether or not I had any point there. So you have 5 of these as a meal. So I guess I'm gonna go make some in the oven. I'm gonna go make some in the air fryer. We will bring them back here. You know, it'll be like 20 or 30 minutes for me, but for you, it'll be merely seconds. And then we will give them a try, maybe see what sauces I have and try them with sauce. But hopefully, my hope is that these are gonna be convincing and good, or at least, if not convincing, good. I mean, good is more important than convincing. Because, you know, to recap, the KFC ones were good and fairly convincing. And honestly, again, I think I've said it before, I kind of like them better than real KFC. The Panda Express Beyond Orange Chicken, or sorry, Beyond the original Orange Chicken, that one was a little more disappointing in that it was kind of doughy in the middle, and the breading was too thin to convincingly be orange chicken. But we have a thicker breading here. So, I mean, while they do look like they're trying to go for McNuggets, maybe the taste won't be there. Maybe that's not what they're actually going for. It's just, that's just the way they look. I mean, but let's face it, that looks like a squat version of the boot. And that kind of looks like the bone. So, I mean, I could be totally off here, but I feel like we're going for McNuggets here. So let's not wait any longer. I have some cooking to do, and I'll see you back here in just a few seconds of your time with some hot, fresh, Skinny Butcher, plant protein, crazy crispy chicken nuggets. The clock stops here. Be right back. And I am back. Did you even miss me? Did you even realize I was gone? So, on the brown plate here, we have 5 nuggets made in our air fryer. Now, full honesty here, I did not quite follow the instructions on the package because our air fryer doesn't do by 5 degrees, it only goes by 10. It's an older one. So these actually went in for 11 minutes at 375, but no preheating. Because again, our air fryer is an older one, doesn't have that as a feature, and I couldn't be bothered to work with it because it was already enough of a pain to try to match it up with the preferred method of oven cooking, given the time differences and the extra length of time it takes to preheat an oven. But here are our oven nuggets. So, you can see just from the color, probably, I'm assuming on the camera you can see from the color, the difference between them. And also, in full honesty, while this was preheated, it was cooked at the 400 degrees, it said, I did, at the end of the 13 minutes, I gave them a flip and gave them an extra 3, because frankly, they were still very squidgy. These came out like the exact texture I would want from the time I cooked them at in the first try, no extra heating. These I did need to put back in for an extra 3 minutes. I don't know if that's because we have a gas oven, and I know gas releases moisture, and that kept them from crisping up properly. But I flipped them over, 3 minutes, and now they came out. They're still a little bit softer texture than these ones, I think. But they are more what I'm looking for. I'm looking for crisp. And these are definitely crispier now than they were before the other 3 minutes. Also, you get a little more browning. This is where they were actually touching the baking sheet. That's why they're brown there. If you look at the other sides that were facing up for the majority of the cooking, they don't have that. But they also don't look quite the same anymore. These are kind of, have taken on a darker look being air fried. More of the look of this, actually. I didn't keep track of which side of this was facing the bottom of the basket and which was up. But that could be, maybe this is what was on the bottom of the basket, so that's where the metal was touching. Because I guess, I still feel these are a little bit darker, just nugget to nugget. I think the air fryer ones got a little darker, and they still feel a little crisper to me than our oven nuggets. So I don't know if maybe it's gonna have some effect on the internal texture, but externally, I kind of like the results of the air fryer better. But of course, external is not everything that matters. External is, is a feast for the eyes. We need to take the feast for the mouth. Let's look at the eyes first. Let's see if we can break one of these apart. And yeah, they kind of tear apart like real chicken, which, I mean, we've seen that before with the other ones. Even a little stringiness there that you get from real chicken. So they do look the part. They smell really good. The seasoning on these absolutely smells the part of chicken nuggets. They smell quite good. Up close, there's a little difference in the smell. I think because of the wheat gluten and the pea protein, that it just doesn't smell quite like chicken. But like when you're cooking them, the kitchen fills with the aroma of chicken nuggets. That is absolutely convincing. Visually, they look pretty convincing. I mean, chicken nuggets tend to be kind of a weird appearing thing anyways if you break them open like this. But I think texturally, that does look convincingly like chicken. But ultimately, what matters is the taste. Not just does it taste like chicken or feel like chicken in the mouth, but does it taste good? So let's try our air fried ones. So maybe my desire for thicker breading was a mistake. Or maybe it's just, maybe I shouldn't have done the extra minute in the air fryer, or maybe the extra 5 degrees in the air fryer made a difference. But they're a little dry. The breading is very thick and crunchy. It's a little dry. The texture is, it's not. I don't think you're going to fool anybody that this is really chicken when they eat it. It's good. It's a little dry. It's going to need a sauce. Let's see how our oven ones did. Maybe I overcooked these. Let's see the oven ones. They don't feel quite as crisp. Maybe they won't feel quite as dry in the mouth. Still a little dry. Again, I would not be fooled that this is chicken. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't smell bad, but it does not feel like chicken in the mouth. It doesn't feel doughy like the orange chicken from Panda Express did, but it doesn't feel as convincingly like chicken as some other things I've tried. Well, that's like the KFC. The KFC felt more convincingly like chicken. Still not quite. This doesn't. It does taste good. The flavor in the breading is really good. The flavor of the inner, I'm not really getting much flavor from the actual faux chicken, our wheat flour pea protein thing here. So we can just rip some of that off and just try it on its own. Honestly, on its own, and this is going to seem weird because they make a big deal about there being no soy in this. On its own, it kind of tastes like tofu. There's a savoriness on the tongue, but there's an aroma fills my nose of frankly, what I'm associating with tofu. Which, I mean, I don't mind tofu, but yeah, this definitely does not taste like chicken if you just separate it from the breading. Now, is that bad? Or I don't know. If next time I make them, because we do have at least another serving for each of us left in here, I might try them in the oven again and just take them out at the 13 minutes, even though they felt squidgy. Maybe if I let them rest a little bit, they would crisp up. I don't know, but they're good. They're not going to fool, I think, anybody that they're actually chicken. Good flavor, decent texture, not doughy in the middle, which is, to me, kind of the worst thing about the Beyond Orange Chicken was that it was like doughy in the middle. Like maybe they hadn't cooked it quite long enough. I don't know. But between that and I still think that needed a thicker crust. This one, the crust may almost be a little too thick. At least on the air fried ones. I don't think this was, or maybe just not, it may just be like a slightly thinner crust. I don't know. But the crust is a little dry, but you know how you fix that? You fix that with sauces. So, you may recall from some recent videos, if you actually watch more than just this one, I've had far too much McDonald's recently, and I've got some leftover sauce packets. So I figured, if we're going to try to be McNuggets, then let's give it the full McNugget treatment here and try it with some leftover McNugget sauce. These are only a few weeks old. They're not like massively out of date. We've got our tangy barbecue and our spicy buffalo. That's what I usually get. That's what my wife usually gets. But let's try them in that. So let's try some tangy barbecue on a Skinny Butcher plant-based, powered by delicious plant protein, crazy crispy chicken nuggets. Yeah, cool barbecue sauce, and give it a try. Now, maybe it's because I like drench my nuggets in sauce when I get them from McDonald's, but that's actually not totally unconvincing. It's crispier, the breading is thicker, but honestly, that in the mouth is fairly convincingly a chicken nugget, or chicken McNugget. With a dipping sauce, that actually works quite well. So I think that's the key here, is you need to put your Skinny Butcher plant protein, crazy crispy chicken nuggets in a sauce when you eat them. And it's much more convincingly a McNugget then. I still feel if I had like some real nuggets here to have side by side, I wouldn't be fooled. The flavor isn't quite right. The breading is definitely a lot thicker than McDonald's, but it has like really good flavor to it. At least the breading does. The fake meat, not so much flavor to speak of, but I do quite like them. I would get these again. I don't know how much healthier they necessarily are than real. I'm sure they're healthier than real McNuggets. I don't know how much healthier they are than just normal nuggets from the freezer. But you know, nothing had a face here. Nothing with eyes died to make this food. So that can be a factor for some people. I'm not going to suddenly stop eating hamburgers just because I can get meat substitutes, but I don't need to eat, actual animal flesh all the time. I don't mind eating something like this periodically, and it's not bad. Cooking method, I do think, honestly, I was at first thinking, well, no, the air fryer is the way to go, but no, that after eating them, the oven is better. I feel like maybe next time I should trust the instructions and just do them at 13 minutes and stop and let them rest and see if maybe they firm up and crisp up that way. Just because I feel like I did dry them out a little bit more than I should have, and I feel like these are definitely the drier ones. And it can also just be because it does have thick breading on it, but that's where the flavor of this is. The fake chicken itself doesn't have a ton of flavor, and indeed, to me at least, tastes like tofu, but it's not bad. I would definitely get these again. I would definitely eat these again if Costco continues to carry them. I have no regrets for trying them. This is another successful meat alternative video. So I hope you found that at all interesting or entertaining. If you did, go ahead and give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Now I have some fake chicken to go eat, so I'll see you in the next video.